Hello, my name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net on numbering chords in a tune to transpose with ease, so let's get going. Welcome to Jazz Guitar Lessons, where we help guitarists learn jazz faster, express themselves more fluently, and have fun along the way. My name is Mark, and if you're looking to learn jazz, form better practice habits, and especially if you enjoy a French accent, make sure to subscribe. We're going to talk about a few certain examples, so I think I would really recommend if you're listening to this on the bus or in your car or while gardening or running, you should probably take this podcast home and grab your guitar with you when you want to study these concepts, just in case I go a little bit too fast. So let's get started. We're going to start with the song All the Things You Are. There are three things I want to do today. Honestly, use All the Things You Are to give you some examples and incentives on why you should number the chords and relativize everything. So All the Things You Are will be first, then we'll look at B-flat blues, and lastly we'll look at your favorite, Autumn Leaves, which is of course one of the most played and most called tune at jam sessions, and every singer wants to sing it, so you must know Autumn Leaves in many keys. So let's start with All the Things You Are. So this song, first let's start with a caveat. So here are the two reasons why you should learn Roman numerals, or at least go by 1, 6, 2, 5 and learn the chords, but not as chords, but as relationships between chords. The number one reason is in the title of this podcast is to transpose. So if you meet a singer and I will say she, I'm sorry, I know it's 2019 now, but I need to say she will get on your nerves and she will want to play All the Things You Are in a different key, or Stella by Starlight in a different key, Summertime in a different key. They always do that, and it's normal. As humans, we have sort of a range, a capacity for our voice, so she will call it in a different key. Number one, that's super practical. And number two, it allows you to see a lot of common things in between all the standards you learn. So after you learn 20 or 25 different standards, you will see the same progressions come back all over again, all the time. And that's a good enough of an incentive, because if you start seeing, we would say, the forest for the trees, then it's going to be much, much easier to learn many more songs. You're like, all right, this song is just, X, Y, Z progression, but we have this twist. And you start to really understand harmony, and you start to really understand substitutions and how you can get creative with chords, even though, it's a big, big mystery to a lot of people. So let's get started with All the Things You Are. Number one, so let's talk, this song. If you don't, you can pause this podcast, go on the website, go on YouTube, famous song, You Are the... I'm playing it sort of chord melody here. I just want to talk about these first 8 bars and how we would Roman numeralize them. So F minor 7 is your first chord. B flat minor 7 is your second chord. Your third is E flat 7, going to A flat major 7, to D flat major 7, and then we have a fun little twist, D minor 7, G7, C major. So I'm going to give it away. The song is in the key of A flat, and it goes to the key of C major. So I'll just give you the example of how to put numbers together, and then after that we'll attempt it in a different key. How's that? Cool? So F minor 7 is the 6th chord in the key of A flat. Of course, my students go to your teacher. They go to your instructor. Mark, how should I know this? How could I have known that this is the 6th chord? Well, if you grab any old fake book or sheet, you will see that the key at the clef, at the treble clef, it will show 4 different flats, and 4 flats it's the key of A flat major, right? And by playing the chord that is the 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's an F note, and F is actually, F minor is the relative minor to A flat major, all right? So that's what we need to know. So let's simplify this, guys. F minor 7 is 6, and then it's going to go 2 in the key of A flat, 5, and 1. So that's A flat, and we land on 1. So you can learn essentially All the Things You Are by saying, hey, 6, 2, 5, 1. If you were to teach it to someone with math, quote unquote math, you you cannot see my air quotes while I do the podcast. That's totally right. So you go 6, 2, 5, 1. Hey, you're out of trouble. Already you know 4 bars with 4 numbers. And then the next chord is a D flat major 7. And this is the 4 chord. So it goes 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. I don't know if you noticed, but this is all in the cycle of 4. It's all ascending fourths or descending fifths. So you could either go F, A flat. That's all ascending fourths, or if you descend fifths, you could go. Right? That's descending fifth, ascending fourth, same thing. So 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. Then comes the pickle. Then you're like, how can we relativize D minor 7, G7 to C major? And the trick is you don't. So what you say is, well, this is now in a new key, starting at the D minor 7. That's the interesting part. So what you say is, if you were to write this down on the chart, you would just put a bracket under the staff for these bars and go bracket, bracket, arrow to C, because C is C major is where our destination, and D minor 7 and G7 are considered as being part of the key of C. But now you're going to say, Mark, how does C major, cowboy, relates to A flat major, which is the key of the song? And the short answer, it does not. It's not related, but that's what the song does, and that's what the composer decided to do with the song. So we must use that. So if you go A flat major to C major, you can say that you're going to the key of 3. 1, 2, 3. The key of 3 major. So I'm going to summarize this into a formula. If you're attempting to learn all the things you are, you're doing 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, and then 2, 5, 1 in the key of 3. 2, 5, 1 in the key of 3. I know that went by fast. I'm going to do it again. 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, then 2, 5, 1 in the key of 3. 2, 5, 1 in the key of 3. C major being the 3 we're referring to. Good? So, 2 things. Number 1, if you keep playing on all the things you are, I'm going to play it for a little while more artistically. You're going to see this come. And then so the progression that happened in bars 1 through 8 actually repeats itself in bars 9 through 16. It's still starting with a C minor in bar 13, in bar 9, C minor. So 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, and then 2, 5 in the key of 3. However, it does that in the key of E flat now. So you learn 16 bars of all the things you are, and actually you've already been through 4 keys. Namely, in the normal key, it's A flat C major, then E flat G major. But the bars are actually copy and pasted. They're just transposed to a different key. Even the melody is pretty much the same. So this is things to keep an eye open for, because you don't have to relearn everything. It's not like every chord by chord you have to look at it and relearn it and go, okay, I must memorize this. You don't need to memorize if you see the values of the chords for what they are underneath it. So that's my first point. And my second point is, let's try to play the first 8 bars of all the things you are that we've talked about, and let's just put them into another key as an exercise. If it would have been a live show, I would have taken a call and go, hey guys, which key do you want me to do it in? And instead of A flat, I'm gonna go and choose, just to mess with your mind a little bit, choose the key of C major. I have a little issue with my nail here. I should file it. Sorry guys. I've been doing a lot of classical guitar recently too, so I'm sort of freaking out on my nails, if you know what I mean. So let's pick the key of C major and go 6, 2, 5, 1, 4 in the key of C major, and then 2, 5, 1 in the key of 3. And that's determined, so if C major is our 1, we start with, what is 3? 1, 2, 3, C, E, C, D, E, so E major is our 3 now. Great guitar key. So see if you can play along with me. 6, 2, 5, 1 in the key of C major. 6 is A minor 7. 2, 5, 2 in the key of C major is D minor 7, G7, the C major. The 4, which is F. So far so good? Good? Brain fart, I'm sorry. Where were we? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to E major, right? Remember, Mark? We're going to E major. Okay. So 6, 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1, 4. That's F major. Then we're going to the key of E major, so the chord is F sharp minor 7. That's 2 to B7, which is 5 of E major. And then actually E major. One last time. 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1. There you go. I'm going to stop there for all the things you are because I think you get the picture, and we just spent about 10 minutes on this, but that's how you transpose. So I'm going to go a little bit faster and cover the first one was all the things, then talk about B flat blues. So one of the things I will encourage you to do, and I'll only spend like a minute on, is to take that traditional jazz blues, the one with the, let's do it in B flat. So, you're from a B flat and you go to an E flat dominant, and that's 4. And a lot of people, a lot of my students, they still, when I refer to 4, sorry, sometimes they don't really understand what I'm saying and say, you go to the 4 chord for like a Roman IV, the 4, and this is in bar 5. A lot of people are thrown off because, like, I don't know, what do you mean bar 5, bar 8, bar 7? It's a great thought experiment to do that. So 1, 2, second bar, 3, 4, bar 5, optional diminish, bar 6, bar 7, bar 8, bar 9, bar 10, right? So, and I stop counting at the end, right? I guess so 9, 10, 11, 12, and back to 1. I'm going to do the same thing now and just call the functions, the Roman functions, and you rewind this podcast and figure it out if there's anything that's unclear to you. So 1, 4, 1, 4, sharp 4 diminish optional, 1, 6 in bar 8, right? 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So if you're having a hard time doing this, it should become pretty obvious that you should know how to do this, which chord functions do what, and also that once you nail this, there's nothing preventing you from playing blues in all keys. And that's why sometimes I don't like the word confrontation, but I confronted some people. It's like, yeah, no, I get jazz, and some students or even friends. I'm like, all right, let's play the blues in A flat. Let's play the blues in D flat. Let's play the blues in B natural. Let's play the blues in, whatever, in A. A is probably easy for guitarists, or E. But when you play these strange keys, if you're good at relativizing everything, it becomes super easy to play anything, anytime. Good. Now let's finish this podcast by examining Autumn Leaves. You guys will hate me because I'm going to do Autumn Leaves in the key of the Something Else recording, the Cannonball recording, and it starts like this, right? Right, so that's a G minor chord, and the song goes. how Miles plays it, actually. So I'm just going to run through the chords quickly because some of you guys start on an A minor, and actually it's in the key of E minor and G major. So my key, or the key that's most often played in jazz, is C minor 7 to F7 to B flat major to E flat major. You can find this on the website, by the way, just type in Autumn Leaves. A minor 7 flat 5 to D7 to G minor. Again, C minor, F7, B flat major, E flat 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7 altered to a G minor of some sort. Okay. So I'm going to simplify Autumn Leaves a lot to you, and this might come in as a revelation, or at this point, if this is all old stuff for you, I guess you probably have already tuned out or stopped the podcast. So let's do this. C minor 7, F7, B flat major. That's a 2-5-1 in the key of 1, which we will consider B flat major to be our 1 here. All right. And then it goes to 4 again. So 2-5-1-4, pretty popular. Happened in all the things you are happening in blues at the same time. So gonna do this again. 2, 5, 1. I have issues not ornamenting around it. I always put icing on the cake. It's second nature, sorry. So 2, 5, 1, 4. And now when you go to A minor 7 flat 5 to D7, all you have to think about is this is a minor 2-5 minor 2-5 in the key of G minor. And now ask yourself, how is B flat major and G minor related? And B flat major is the 1 key and G minor is the relative minor. If you don't know what the relative minor is, so brush up on theory a little bit. It's just keys, a major and a minor key always have their cousin or brother relative, right? So how I would summarize, and I'm going to leave you with that thought, how I would summarize Autumn Leaves in this case is either I could say it's a diatonic cycle, so it's a cycle of fourths from 2, 2, 5, 1, 4, then 2. So it goes through all the notes of the key, then it goes back to C. So 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but actually not in that order. It's order ascending up a fourth and starting on 2. So it's like you're going through all the chords and keys. So I would say either diatonic cycle from 2 or to some uninitiated ears, I would say, well, it's 2-5-1 in the key of 1 of a key, and then it's a minor 2-5 to the relative minor. Once again, 2-5-1 to the major key, to that key you're playing on, and 2-5-1 in the key of the relative minor. That's it. So now you realize, like, oh, I can play 2-5-1, or I can play a diatonic cycle. I can play this in any key. So if you just keep going through your cycle, you will eventually get to the 2-5 of the relative minor because of the nature of the cycle. So you could play Autumn Leaves in any key if you just spend a minute to sort of figure out what keys are. All right, so that's it for this podcast number 37. Once again, my name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. There's many more lessons on the website and the blog as it is, and we have memberships, we have courses, we have tons of free stuff. We have a YouTube channel. Please check it out, jazzguitarlessons.net. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again in this podcast or on the website. Drop in, say hi. You can always reach me at mark@jazzguitarlessons.net. And I'll see you next time. Take care.